genus level, then you just use genus. If it's up to species level, then you use species. And you don't have to overthink this. There's already controlled vocabulary that you can get on the site that I've provided. So the other recommended fields to add to a checklist are the taxon rank and the kingdom, or even other higher taxa. You have them. Then also longitude and latitude and the geodetic data. So location can be included in a checklist data set. And then country code as well as the count, the individual count, to record the quantity. Here's an example of a filled out template of a checklist data set. The taxon ID, they've assigned one. The current name usage ID, they've assigned also. Accepted name. So these are the recommended fields which we've looked through, and they've also populated them. Name, scientific name. You can also note that the authors are included in there. Then there are different levels. For example, this is just the genus with the author. And some are genus and species with the author as well. So we'll move over to Darwin Core fields for occurrence data set, and they are as follows. You have, again, the yellow fields being the required, and then the pink fields being the recommended. And I'll go through these required fields. So occurrence ID will be, it's an identifier for the occurrence. So for the checklist, it was an identifier for a taxon. So now occurrence ID is an identifier for the occurrence, the event. Oh no, not the event, sorry, the occurrence, yes, the occurrence. There's no better way of saying it. In the absence of a global unique identifier for this occurrence ID, you could generate one using online tools, or you could construct one by mixing the other IDs in the same line together with numbers as well. So some examples are given down there. And then again, just to reiterate, with every template, if you hover above the field name, it gives you the description of what's supposed to go in there. And the templates themselves, on the links that I provided, there's a field in template for you to refer to as well. Then there's this field called basis of record, very important. So it's just to differentiate what type of entry it is, what type of record it is. Did you record from a preserved specimen, a fossil specimen, a living specimen? Was it a human observation, or was it what was it? So there's already vocabulary for that also supplied on the link. The other term is the scientific name, which we've already gone through, and I've explained at length what it entails. Then the next one is event date. So this one, it's required, and it's a recording of when that observational collection was made, because we said with occurrence, it has to be linked to an observational collection. So genus doesn't, in this case, the occurrence does not, you cannot use the geological time scale. It has to be actual everyday day. And then there are already ways of writing dates that are already accepted. So the idea is to pick one and stick to it. For example, you could have your dates like this with the year first, month, then the day, then the time, and then yeah, the zone as well. And so forth and so forth. And then this is what we are used to. The normal, that's not even day, month, year. So you can have just a year. If you don't know what the day and the month were, it's still acceptable. And you can have the year and the month only. And so forth. All these combinations they work. Just to go back, please note that dates can be complex and they can be sources of error. So this is one thing where I cannot overemphasize the need to be careful in capturing dates, especially in Excel. Then Darwin Core fields for species occurrence data sets have also recommended fields, which are as follows. And I've already given you where to get the descriptions for these. So the third one is the sampling event data set. The templates, when you download it, it's like this. And to note is this section down here. You have, unlike the other two templates, here you have two sheets. So one is for the sampling event core, and then the second one, the occurrences are an extension to this data set. So they are also included there. This is what the sampling event one looks like. And I'm just going to play this so that you can see the whole thing. Event ID, current event ID, event date, the sampling protocol, effort, size, units, location ID, footprint, and so on and so on. So if you hold above, they give you what each section is about, and you can get examples of that. And if you put in, and then it goes on with decimal, longitude, latitude, and the geographic data, as well as the country code. All these also have ready ways in which you can do them in. And it's template, and then there's also the certificate of demonstration. This is based on the associated occurrences now. As you can see, some of the fields are like the occurrence fields. I think it's more elaborating to capture everything that you call. So that's what we have with the templates. So going into the required fields, there are 3 of them, and then the rest I recommended. Yeah. So extensions, there are so many different types of extensions, but these are some examples, and you can find the tools, you can find these extensions. These are just extra fields or extra sheets that you can add to a core to fill out the data. And I've provided the link a little more into the tools. There is this part of the website that's written through. You get a summary of everything that is just about, and you also get so-called Excel templates, and then the archive assistant, you are able to find more information in there. And then there's a name parser where you can upload the names that you've captured just to, I mean, you can verify while capturing whether you have the correct name. etc. Then the global unique identifier, if you do not want to just assign numbers that might then be duplicates of something else out there, you might want to have your own generated code for all these. So you might want to use an online global unique identifier generator. Then sometimes you want to include when you want to include the georeferencing, the points, and sometimes you just describe the place, you can calculate the actual points using a georeferencing calculator like geolocate, and fill out your data as you capture. Then these are just a few of the many examples of controlled vocabulary that you can use. Instead of describing your data your own way, there are already ways of describing it, so you can familiarize with those. Finally, these are the resources, some of the resources that I used to prepare this talk. Many thanks to the sponsors who sponsored this talk and the whole project, and the partners on this project and the mentors. Thank you very much. So we are going to have a live session where we go through this and do a demonstration. And the demonstration is based off of interpreting this kind of data into an Excel template, which we shall help each other choose, and so that we can learn how to do that for our own data or for the exercise. So meet me for the demo on Zoom. Thank you very much. That is all.